Hello everyone. My base is kind of a mess. And there's a lot of old stuff, like all these random conveyor lines that just have iron as well as copper to create some basic components that we're already creating elsewhere. Well, today that's gonna change. I'm gonna tear all of this stuff down and we're gonna move it to a proper crafting hub. So similarly to what we have here at the foundry, I want to construct a large building, like probably way bigger than this one. The floor that I had in mind, Level 5 admin. There used to be a large building here, but I took it all down. So that starts getting somewhat of a plan. I'm going to concrete everything that is going to be the upper layer. So this is going to have at least 2 layers for now. Actually, this is how far I can get with the 5x5s. Yikes. And that is not even the full upper layer yet. This will be the bottom layer down here. Now the question becomes, can we actually make 5x5s? No. Dude, that's gonna be a pain, isn't it? That's gonna be over here. That is probably this platform right there. Oh boy. We would have to continue with the Sierra line, eh? Now that's gonna be quite a pain because that requires carbon frames as well as glass, but I think glass should be fine. Yeah, it's just sand in the smelter. Carbon frames, however, well, first we have to unlock them. We're gonna have to create green cores. Actually, that's just about it. We need 40 green cores. And 40 of them isn't gonna be cheap because we're gonna need electric motors as well as relay circuits, which were already quite expensive. So what I'm thinking of doing instead is just simply go to one of the other layers and hopefully find some structures. Like this one right here. This is, I think that was a huge planting facility. Yeah. But there's a ton of these 5x5s. So what I'll be doing with my life for the next couple hours probably is completely dismantle this place. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I may have gone a bit overboard here. I felt like building last night. And well, instead of just doing the floor, I did the entrance as well. I think it turned out pretty nice. So you get off the elevator, you kind of start in this, I don't know, this like alleyway area. I think it looks pretty neat. And then you just walk in, and you get to this place. So this is the upper layer. Over there, there's a staircase that leads to the lower floors. I made a bit of a room underneath as well, and I have a plan for that area. So something else I did is make a list of every single item we would need, or at least that I want to be producing in these assemblers. That is mainly what this room is going to be for. And I've also split them up into multiple categories. Well, technically like 4 or something, 4 to 5. So you have basically every item. And some items that are made with slabs, either copper, iron, or that use both. And then materials that can be made fully automatic using the planters and threshers. There's not actually that many, there's only like 4 of those. For example, ceramics and ceramic parts would require a smelter. I don't really want to have those here, per se. But I think it would be kind of silly to waste 2 slots to one send the clay over to the smelting production and then pull out ceramic parts and put them back in here. So instead, I'm just going to smelt those here. So let's start setting this stuff up, right? So for example, some of the items that we're going to need, as I said before, ceramic tiles is one of them. Then I'm going to space these apart a little bit, just so we have some room to work with. Shiverthorn gel is going to be another one. And then lastly, plant matter bricks. Now there's multiple recipes for this. And we're either going to do the plant matter frames or plant matter fiber. I would imagine the frames are probably better. But we're gonna have to check this one out. Alright, let's start off with the dirt. That requires plant matter. And plant matter itself is made from plant matter fiber. However, we did learn a better recipe, which is in the thresher actually. This recipe created the plant matter fiber, right? Yes. And that's perfect because we also need a lot of this coolant stuff. So the blue ones are gonna be our friend here. So let's start setting up a decent row, because we're going to need a lot of the...
Built a decent little garden with those planters, Breaker. But I want to see a farm.
Shut the fuck up, Sparks. Okay, let's place down kind of... Well, I guess this amount. I was going to say kind of a lot, which also doesn't really make sense, I don't think. But hey, when does my English vocabulary make sense? Something I'm afraid of, though, while building this, is that we're going to shoot up in electricity. We're already kind of at the limit to begin with, even though I took down a lot of assemblers. Alright, next up, I want to have them go for 2 different threshers, because that's just more convenient and faster. So there's 12 over here, so each side will have 6 to deal with. Right, I don't have many seeds. However, I did pick some kindle vines. I don't think it's gonna be enough if I look at this. That's kind of gonna be a problem. Oh no. Cut this power. Cut this line. Cut this line. I messed up. This should not be a regular one. This should have been a... Oh boy, do I even have those filters? I don't. Wait, I did have filters. Well, whatever. Can never have too many, I suppose. There we go. We have to set the filter up for that. Alright, crisis averted. At least on this side. I'll have to do the same on the other. For how many times I've made these things, you'd think I remember. Yeah, so as expected, we're definitely gonna need more. Let's just knock that out right away. I think I hit the jackpot here. Heck yeah. Well, actually, thinking about it, there was that farm area as well. We could have scanned all the planters there, and we would get these seeds too. But that's a good one to keep in mind for if we ever want to do something like that ourselves. For right now, though, I think we have enough. That's the planters itself operational. Now, of course, we would need more pressures, and it seems like that's going to be quite fun. I should have probably set this up sooner, because from what I remember, this could take a while. While we're waiting anyway, let's start working on some of the other production. So we're going to have to take the plant matter and convert all of this to dirt. Let's see, then the dirt has to be turned into clay, and then the clay will turn into the ceramic part. Now here's where we kind of have to split things up. And I don't really know how we are going to do that just yet. I think the easiest way would just take one of these smelters, hook them up to the machine, that will create ceramic tiles, while the other one is just directly connected to the system itself. I'm going to grab some walls and stuff real quick, just so we can make the outline for that as well. Now I don't want to have big walls all the way around, and I don't want to have a ceiling either, because this actually looks really cool. So I'm thinking of just leaving most of it open, but just have a pretty low wall. The placing of this doesn't really work well when you already place down the belts. Alright, there we go. Something like that I think will work well. Maybe something on top of it still, like these rounded edges that we have over here. Maybe that works, but we'll check that out later. So I finally figured out what the Mark II threshers do. They're actually a lot faster at what they do. Which, honestly, it kind of makes sense. But me not smart, of course. Alright, the plant matter will go into the dirt making factory. And this will go straight up. And we're gonna have to move some of the machines here as well. I might just place them like this, just so you don't really see the hole. I do wish it was one bigger. But nothing we can really do about it. And this can create the gel. These do need to be powered, however. You know what? I'm gonna give him this unrefined diesel. When we unlock the tier 3 smelters, these will go fully electric. I'm gonna have this like that for now. I'm not 100% sure how we're gonna do the outlet. What I mean by that is how we're gonna take all these items out of and hook them up towards the system. Because we're gonna have multiple lines here, it's gonna look kind of messy. We could do a monorail. That would honestly be the quickest fix, I think. But alright, we still have plant matter bricks to work with. So let's quickly figure out how we made those again. I don't think they were expensive by any means. Right, they used the Kindle Vine stems. Alright, gotta admit, this might not be the best solution actually. It's going really slowly. I don't know why I thought it was going to be a good idea just to hook up two of these. Alright, I now have it set up like this. This may look kind of messy right now, but you know, they already fixed itself, because they're not producing it fast enough. So they can take turns putting the stuff on the conveyor belt. Yeah, that should basically double the output here. Then next up, we're gonna create kind of a smaller contraption. And this will only go into a singular thresher. I do luckily have way too many seeds of this one. Alright, sweet, this will produce stems. The stems we can take out. That can be tossed directly into an assembler. And that will create the plant matter frames. You know, I think I will hook it up to a monorail. Yeah, we can have pillars on the side and kind of create a arch for that. Alright, that goes quite nicely. The plant matter bricks are really damn slow. Kind of to expect it, to be honest. Oh, great. That's because I did this bloody same issue. Wait, how did this issue occur this time? Because I placed the bloody things the other way around. Maybe that's also why it's so slow. Alright, well, let's fix the problem again. I don't know what I have today. This is not a great day to make the crafting room, that is for damn sure. Right, but everything should be working now. Eventually we can upgrade this to have tier 2 planters. We just don't have them yet, so that's why they're not here. Alright, in order to save you guys from watching me do the same bloody task over and over again, which is connecting a lot of these assemblers to the main elevator and setting up monorails all over the place, as well as save me from hours of editing. I'm just gonna show you guys the finished product. Well, what we have right now anyway. So I set up multiple assembly lines. We have to produce some sesamite powder, so there are still things that we don't have in the system yet. This is mainly because these things require to be smelted, as well as farmed in the first place. I also have not put an output on some of these yet, especially these ones right here. I'm thinking of keeping it on this floor instead of moving them over to the elevator, simply because it's going to be a lot of different items. So what I'll probably do is just have a big storage chest area here. There's also a giant scary hole that I fell down in once. Down below there, we also need to hook that up to the iron and copper slabs, so that is not working right now. Next episode, what I'll do is we're gonna have to go back to the smelting hub, because we're gonna need blast smelting going ASAP to get some of the later parts. But all that seems to be working. We still have a lot of open space. Now that is mainly for future recipes. For example, the carbon fiber frames that we require. Stuff like that can still be hooked up. There's also a bunch of stuff back here now, behind the elevator. This one, for example, will create sesamite gel once we have sesamite sand. But in order to do that part, we'd have to be at Sierra. And that is not fully automatic yet because we don't have any electricity there, so we can't easily get sand at the moment. By the looks of it, we clearly have to upgrade something here. But Atlantium was already on the list anyway. I also dug a giant tunnel for the lines so it doesn't look too weird. They all go back here. So yeah, we'll eventually expand upon this. There's going to be many more recipes we'll need, and we probably need more assemblers later anyway. Also, quick update on the power. When everything is going, we do need more power. We are slowly running out. The accumulator, it keeps it going for now, but not for long. So off camera, I'll have to place down a couple more of the crank generators. We are making motors and relays, so shouldn't be too bad. I'll have to fix up some walls down here because they're not working nicely with the conveyors behind them. So I'm gonna have to think of something we can do there. If you have any ideas, leave them in the comments. For now though, I hope you all enjoyed. This is the start of our massive crafting hub, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye everyone.